it's Ashley Dawn, and I want to get real with you. Lately, I've been going through a lot of stuff personally. Professionally, I'm doing great, but personally, I've been going through a lot. I've had just some friendships not turn out to be what I thought they were. Some just people that kind of broke my heart and kind of hurt my feelings and lied to me, and I caught them in it, and it just stinks. And so anytime something happens in my life, I feel like it's a lesson, obviously, that I learn, but also it's a learning opportunity that I can share with all of my friends, my followers, people that watch my page, that interact with my posts. So I appreciate you, but maybe you're going through it too. Maybe you just lost one of your best friends. Maybe a friendship ended. Maybe a relationship ended. Somebody that you love, somebody that you spent a lot of years and a lot of time with. And maybe they cheated. Maybe they lied. Maybe they hid something. Maybe they had a double life. Those are all things that happen, that we go through, and that hurt so darn bad. Oh my gosh. Betrayal is probably the worst feeling that anybody can ever go through. I have experienced it in many forms, and it stinks every time. It hurts. When you trust somebody, when you open your heart up to somebody and they betray that trust, they lie, they hide things, they're not honest with you, it really, really hurts. Recently, one of my best friends that I've had for 3 years, 8 months, almost 4 years, was doing some things that were very hurtful, in that they were hiding a lot. And instead of owning up to what they were hiding, they decided they would flip it around on me and make it all my fault and really play the victim, which is sad when people do that, because a relationship takes two people, a friendship takes two people, and if you're not honest with your friends, how do you expect a friendship to sustain life, to sustain years and time? And I have just realized throughout my life that insecurity really hurts a lot of friendships. That sometimes people are so insecure that they would rather hide and they would rather lie than just be honest and just tell the truth and just tell it like it is. I have been brutally honest to the point where people have asked me not to be so brutally honest. And I always try to care and try to think about other people's feelings when I'm honest, but at the same time, I would rather somebody punch me in the face with the truth than kiss me with a lie. I've had boyfriends cheat on me and hide it and pretend like they weren't doing nothing. I would rather have them said, yeah, I hooked up with somebody. I went out of town with somebody. I went on a romantic trip with somebody. I've been seeing somebody for the last 6 to 8 months, and I'm getting to know them, and I'm really starting to like them. I would rather somebody be honest about it than hide and manipulate and lie. I just don't like that. Tell me what you're doing, and then I can choose if I want to continue a friendship with you, a relationship with you. I could tell you if I want to continue you being a part of my life. Because if you're lying to me and if you're hiding things from me, it just makes me not want to have anything to do with you. And I'm not perfect, okay? I am not perfect. I do not do everything right, and I do not have all the answers. But one of the things my daddy always said to me when I was little, anytime I would ever ask him wisdom or advice, or I'd say, Daddy, what should I do? He'd say, just be honest, Ash. Just be honest. If you're honest with people, they can't get mad at you because you're being honest. If you're not honest with people and you're manipulating and you're hiding and you're making it so people can't trust you, like, that's very easy for people not to want to be around you. If you're not a trustworthy person, if people can't rely on you, and you can't be trusted, what's the point of a friendship? So I just want to encourage you, don't let the people that have hurt your heart, don't let the people that have wounded you, don't let the people that have lied to you or manipulated or lived a double life, don't let them harden you. Don't get so bitter and so resentful that you just close yourself off. And I'm talking to myself, because I tend to run and I tend to wall off and I tend to hide when I get hurt. I want to protect myself. So when I find out that somebody isn't safe, when I find out that somebody is lying to me or cheating on me or manipulating me, or they are not being honest with me, I am like a little turtle, and I will go into my turtle shell and nobody can get to me. I'll build a fortress around me and nobody can get to me. And that's not healthy. And I've gone to a lot of counseling and I've talked to a lot of pastors. And just because somebody hurts you, you can't take your love and your kindness away from the world. When I was a little girl, something happened and these people killed my dog purposefully. And my dog was my best friend, and I loved him very much, and I held him as he bled to death. And I was 9 years old, and it was one of the hardest things in my childhood that I lived through. I didn't understand why people could be so mean that they would harm an animal on purpose. I didn't understand how people could be so evil to hurt a little girl that was 9 years old. I didn't understand that. And my daddy, after my dog died and we made a little cross for him and we buried him, and I thanked God for all the years that I got with my sweet little puppy. My dad said, "Okay, Ash, are you ready?" And I said, "Ready for what?" And he said, "Well, it's time to go get another dog." And I said, "Daddy, I can't. I promised him I wouldn't. I promised him I'd never love another dog." And my dad said, "Ash," that's the only man that has ever called me Ash. He said, "Ash, God does not want you to close your heart off just because you're hurting. God does not want you to go through life and not give your love to an animal just because you miss Rocky." That was my little puppy's name. And so with that, I always remember that in the back of my head, that my dad was so worried about me not loving another animal. So we got another puppy. This is my little baby that I love so much, that I had for 19 years, my little Sheltie. And I'm so grateful that my dad wouldn't let me harden my heart. I'm so grateful that my dad wouldn't let me wall myself off to not love another dog. And I know sometimes men can act like dogs, and sometimes women can too. And sometimes when they hurt you, you just want to never see another one again. You just want to never go on another date. You just never want to have another friend. You just want to isolate and protect yourself. But it really is a false protection, because isolating leaves you open to the enemy's attacks. Isolating is really dangerous. When you look at animals, when do they get attacked? When they're by themselves. The same thing is true with people. When you're surrounded with godly friends and godly relationships, you may get attacked, but you get through it a lot quicker. Sometimes you're going through an attack and you don't even know you're going through an attack because you got so many people praying for you. But then other times, when you're all by yourself, you go through attack and it feels like the world is just caving in around you, and you don't know how you are going to muster up enough breath to survive. I've been there a lot, because I have walled myself off, because I've isolated, because I've been scared, because I've been fearful, because somebody has hurt me and I did not want somebody else to hurt me again. After I got a divorce, which I'm not proud of, and there's a bunch of videos talking about what happened. If my ex-husband was faithful, we never would have got a divorce. If he wanted to work on the actual marriage and fix his problems and go to counseling, we never would have got a divorce, but that's neither here nor there. when I went through that, I wanted, and I did for a very long time. I've been divorced 10 years. And I wanted to close my heart off. And I did. I didn't date anybody. I didn't talk to anybody. I did not want anything to do with any type of man. Because I was so hurt and I was so betrayed. And I just wanted to be as far away from men as possible. Because my heart was hurting. My heart was broken. And I remember it was a couple years after everything happened. And so I got divorced. And then my dad died right after that. And so it was like one loss after another. And it just hurt. And I remember my counselor told me, she's like, Ashley Dawn, you're allowed to hurt. But you can't stay hurt. You got to move forward. You got to get up. You got to open your heart up again. And you got to let somebody love you. And I'm not good at that. I will say I do have trust issues. And I have very high standards because my dad was and is and will always be the greatest man I've ever known outside of Jesus. And I don't want to settle for a man that's any less of a man than my dad was. And one of the things that he said right before I got married was he didn't care about nothing other than the man that I was with loving Jesus with all his heart and loving me with everything that was left. And he used to say, if a man don't love you more than I do, Ash, he ain't worth your time. And I've stuck with that, which is why I'm still single at 39. And I've stuck with that. I want a man to love me as much as my daddy did. And I won't settle. Part of that love, when you truly, truly love somebody, is being honest. Now that could be if you love a friend, you love a spouse, you love a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a fiance. You gotta be honest. How can you say that you love somebody if you're not honest with them? How can you say you love somebody if you don't trust them? How can you say you love somebody if you're not truly trying to build with them? You can't build something if you don't trust each other. I just want to encourage you, if you have been hurt recently and you have closed yourself off, maybe you walked through a divorce and you just don't trust anybody and you just think that everybody is out to hurt you. I promise you they're not. I promise you there are good people out there that want to love and want to serve and want to be kind and want to be thoughtful and want to be honest. But one of the biggest things that holds people back from being honest in a friendship or relationship is insecurity. So when you're looking for a spouse or a friend or a potential boyfriend, girlfriend, look for security. Make sure that they are confident in who they are in Christ. Make sure they have emotional maturity. Make sure they can deal with their emotions. If they have trauma from their childhood, make sure they're actually dealing with it and not just numbing themselves with drugs or alcohol or something else. Make sure that the person has confidence and that they're secure. Because if there's any insecurity in that person, it's going to manifest in lies. They're not going to tell the truth because of that insecurity. It's been proven in my life. I've taken chances with friends that were insecure, that were always just talking badly about themselves. And I talked to my friend Jessica the other day and I was like, you better stop talking down to yourself. You better stop putting yourself down. And it comes from insecurity. She's insecure. And I am insecure about certain things too. I got a big old cut on my forehead from my head going through a windshield because a drunk driver hit us head on. And thank God I had my seatbelt on because that's what saved me. That and the love of Jesus. But I'm insecure about that scar. I got some little dimples on my hiney. I'm a little insecure about those too. But a body insecurity is one thing. A soul insecurity is another. When you feel less than, when you don't feel good enough for anything, for life, for work, that is a problem. that you need to fix before you ever try getting into a relationship or even starting a friendship with somebody. Because if you don't know who you are in your soul, it's very hard to show up as your authentic self. I know who I am. Am I perfect? No. But I know who I am. And I don't make any excuses for it. This is what I am. This is what you get. If you don't like it, that's fine. I wish you the best. My boss always says, he's like, I wish them the best on their next adventure. I want to encourage you. Be secure. Do the work. If you're insecure with your soul, if you're insecure with your future, if you're insecure with your identity, with your confidence, if you're insecure with who you are, you feel like God made a mistake, you need to deal with that. You need to get some counseling. Talk to a pastor. Don't just numb it. Don't just drink it away, because it's going to show up when the buzz wears off. Don't just stone yourself away. It's going to show up when that buzz wears off, I promise. Know who you are. Live like it matters. Do the work. And if somebody that didn't know who they were lies to you, manipulates you, lives a double life, and you find out about it, I just want to encourage you. Don't let that person stop you from loving somebody in the future. If anything, thank God for the lesson that they were. Wish them the best. Truly bless them. Forgive them for anything that they did, for the lies that they told you, for the stories that they made up. Forgive them. Send them on their way. And move forward. I will say, and I don't think it's necessarily the most healthy, but when somebody's out of my life, they're completely out of my life. You don't get to come back. It's a boomerang. Or I'm what did I say? I said that I'm not from Australia and I don't play with boomerangs. So often I have had friendships and I have had relationships to where they didn't see my value. They didn't appreciate me. They didn't treat me the way they should have. And something happens, they cheat, they do something dumb. I get tired of the lies, I get tired of the drama, and I distance myself from them. And they don't exist to me anymore. I wish them the best, I hope them a great life, but I'm not trying to have that life anywhere near mine. And so often, it might be a couple months, it might be a couple years, but they always come back. And they always, I wish I would have known what I had when I had it. I've never had a friend like you. I've never had a girlfriend like you. Why is that? Because so many people are looking at the other side of the fence. And I will say, social media has made it very difficult for friendships, right? I had a friend the other day that they went out to a girls' dinner. And guess what? I didn't get an invite. They didn't invite me. And I saw all these pictures. They were having so much fun and they all dressed up and they went to go see the new movie and went to dinner first. I would have loved an invite. I felt left out. Now, if I didn't have social media, would I have even known about it? No. Would it have even mattered? No. But because I have social media, now I get all upset because I feel left out. And I will say, in relationships, it's very easy to swipe right, swipe left. I don't even know what way is which, but it's very easy when you get tired of the person you're with to go online, go on a little dating app or go on Facebook and pick somebody else out. It's very easy. And they might be good for a little bit. It might be exciting and new and fresh, and they think you're just the greatest thing in the world because it's brand new and all those endorphins are going and that serotonin and that dopamine is just going crazy. It's like a drug hit every time you text them. Oh, I miss you. Oh, I miss you too. Oh, I think you're so special. But in about 6 months to a year, that new wears off. And you're stuck with who you are. And most of the time, people pretend to be what you want them to be in the beginning because they want to have a relationship with you. They want to have a friendship with you. They're not their real selves. But a year in, that mask starts falling off and they start being their real self. And often the person that was with them fell in love with an image and didn't fall in love with them. And so they break up. And guess what happens? They're knocking on your door wanting you back. I just want to encourage you. If you're getting into a relationship, make sure that it's with somebody who's secure and can handle their emotions and that's honest. And if you're getting into a friendship, the same thing. I have friends, awesome, godly friends, that will tell me the truth at all costs. Even if it might cost us our friendship. Even if it might cost them a fun trip that we were going to go on. They will tell me the truth no matter what it costs because they value me and they love me. They won't lie to me. They won't manipulate me. They won't fabricate stories. You know the hard part about lying to people? You got to keep your stories straight. With all the friends that I've ever had that have lied to me, the one thing that they don't understand is you got to keep your story straight. Because if you tell a story 6 times, unless you write it down, every time you're going to leave something out. Or you might change it. Or you might forget. Or you might forget who you told what story to. And that normally happens. Oh, well, I went out of town on this day. Oh, well, I went out of town on this day. Oh, well, I only went here. Oh, well, I only went with this person. Oh, well, somebody canceled on me and I just had to find somebody. It was anybody. It wasn't nobody special. It was just anybody that could be there. Well, those stories don't match up. Or I had a friend of mine that made several excuses as to why I wasn't invited to her party. She had a birthday party and I wasn't invited. And when I tell you, I love being invited. Even if I can't go, I love being invited. Invite me to the gas station. I don't care. I just love being invited. I love being included. And so she had this big birthday party. I think she went to Bradenton. She went out of town. They got an Airbnb. It was like this big whole thing. And she had all her girlfriends and some of my friends too, like mutual friends. And I saw all the pictures on Facebook. And I'm like, you didn't invite me to that. She's like, oh yeah, well, I knew you were out of town. I'm like, I wasn't out of town. I was at home the whole weekend. Oh, well, I thought it was your mom's birthday. Nope, definitely not. Nope. Oh, well, I didn't think that you'd want to go. Oh, okay. Oh, well, I know that you had skin cancer and it's out in the sun because it's a beach house and I just didn't want you to get a sunburn. Oh, okay. Well, you must not be on my Facebook because I go out on the boat pretty much every weekend and I'm always at the beach and I'm always doing something outdoorsy. So that's crazy. But all of the stories that she told me every time we hung out didn't match up. And finally, I just said, listen, I love you, but let's just cut the crap. Why didn't you invite me? And she said, I didn't invite you because there were 2 girls that were going that I know you don't like. And I didn't want it to be awkward. And I said, girl, you could have just told me that. You could have saved us all the drama and all the trouble. And I would have just said, thanks for thinking of me. I appreciate you. Yeah, I don't want to be around those girls. I don't like them. You could have just told me the truth. It would have saved 3 months of us arguing. It would have saved 3 months of me be feeling left out. If you would have just told me, yeah, I invited 2 people that I know you don't like. And here's another thing. As a Christian, it is so, and I know some people are going to, pop off in the comments on this. Sometimes we as Christians think that we have to like everybody, that we have to love everybody, that we have to be friends with everybody. No, we don't. The Bible even says there were several times that Jesus was not accepted in his hometown and he had to dust the dirt off of his sandals and keep moving. I am not going to be fake for nobody. I am not going to pretend to like somebody that I don't like, especially if somebody's lying to me all the time. Once you lose my trust, friendship is sure to follow. If I can't trust you, trust is everything to me. Trust and loyalty. Those 2 things. If I can't trust you, there ain't nothing there. If you're not loyal to me and you're willing to lie for somebody else, I'm not about it. I'm not. I would rather have 2 friends that I trusted and that I knew were loyal to me than 20 friends that I had to question if they were honest or if they were loyal to me. I just want to encourage you. Life is tough and it's easy to get hurt and it's easy to close off. But one of the biggest things that I'm working on in my life right now, because I've been hurt a lot recently by some friends, male and female, from lying to me and from not being loyal. One of the biggest things that I am trying to overcome is not hardening my heart. Still keeping my heart open to the possibilities of friendships and relationships. It's not always easy, but it's worth it, because somewhere there is an amazing man of God that is honest, that is loyal, that has integrity, that is respectful, and that is praying that God would give him a woman like me. And I have to keep my heart open so that when he walks into my life, I don't run him off. And I welcome him into my life. And so that is my goal. And when I have friends that do not nice things or leave me out or lie to me or make me feel like I can't trust them, I don't need to close my heart off and say, well, I got enough friends, I don't need no more friends. No, I need to leave my heart open for the godly friends that God is going to bring into my life, that I'm going to be able to trust, that I'm going to know that they have my back, and they're going to know that I have theirs. So my whole title, my whole reason for this video, 27 some minutes, don't harden your heart. Don't let bitterness and resentment harden your heart. There's Leanne Womack's song, I Hope You Dance. She has a line in it. It says, don't let some hell-bent heart leave you bitter. When you come close to selling out, reconsider. And when you get a chance, I hope you dance. And dancing is fun. It's free. It's an expression of joy. I hope you dance. I hope you don't let somebody convince you to sit on the sidelines of your life. I hope that when somebody asks you to dance, you take that and you say, I'd love to dance. And I hope that you don't get bitter or resentful just because people lied to you or mistreated you in your life. That's my encouragement for the day. Keep your heart open. Forgive the people that have wronged you. And open your heart to people that won't. And use everything as a lesson. Everything won't always be perfect, but you can use it as a lesson. You can learn something from it. I'm learning a lot. I recently called the friend that I was having the issue with, and I talked to her, and I just shared my heart with her. And I let her know the type of friendship that I would like us to have. And that if that wasn't the type of friendship that she wanted, I understood, and I wouldn't bother her anymore. And there was a gentleman in my life that we had gone on some dates, and I really had a lot of hope for the potential of a future with. And he showed me very clearly that that wouldn't be possible because he couldn't be honest and he couldn't tell the truth. And that's okay. He's not my guy and I'm not his girl. And I'm grateful that I know now. And I'm grateful that I'm not allowing it to harden my heart, because I've done that in the past. So I just want to encourage you, don't harden your heart. Don't let some hell-bent heart leave you bitter. When you come close to selling out, reconsider. Don't sell out. God has such good things in store for you. And regardless of someone's ability or inability to see you for how special you are, God sees you for how special you are. You are seen, you are celebrated, and you are loved by God, first and foremost, and by me. I hope you know how loved you are. I hope you know how special you are. And if you don't, if you doubt it, I hope you spend time in the Bible. Because if you hold out your cup of worth, and you expect people, flawed humans, to fill it, you're going to be very, very upset for most of your life. Because people weren't made to fill your cup. God is the only one that can fill your cup. Get your identity and your worth from Him, and everything else will make sense. I love y'all. I'll catch you in the next one.